So what is it about all these task A, B, C things? Why do the organisers keep bringing in different tasks when the day is looking weak and crappy? Okay, here's an explanation. Okay, here I've drawn a graph of the strength of the day as the day progresses, and to illustrate this graph I've used coffee. Why coffee? Well, coffee gets you up and going and gets you off the ground and moving. Always drink caffeine responsibly. So let's imagine that this line here is the minimum amount of oomph that a glider needs to stay up. That means that this amount of time between here and here, say between 10 o'clock and 5 o'clock, is how much a glider has in the day to fly the task. Okay, that was one glider. Now imagine you have a whole group of gliders you need to stay up. There's more of you there, the lift needs to be more reliable. So let's say that the day has to be that strong. Now, you've got slightly less time in which to keep a group of gliders up. You don't really care if here they're on final glide, so you can probably extend the day a little bit further. If you have one glider on task, you can start pretty much after that glider can stay up and get going. If there's a whole group of you, you're going to have to wait for the whole group to get launched, and then to be fair to the last glider, you've got to wait for 20 minutes after the last glider's airborne, so they've got time to get themselves sorted and get going on task. That's going to take, for a group we found, probably about 40 minutes, so let's call it there. So there we have, now we have this amount of time for the gliders to fly a decent task. Let's say that this group of gliders can travel at about 100 kilometres an hour, and that's 5 hours, so there you go, there's a 500 kilometre task. All well and good. Now, the problem is, if there are a large number of groups of gliders, say for example 110, 116 like we have at the World Gliding Champs, it takes about 40 minutes to launch each class, roughly about an hour and a half to get everybody launched and going. So now, your day starts here if you are the last group on task. This means you have now only 4 hours roughly in which to complete a task. So that is the length of task they would set for the last group on the grid. Now we imagine that there's been a big explosion of coffee all over this kitchen, or that the day has actually got a lot weaker. That means that what was a good time for this particular group at the back of the grid to start now is now moved into somewhere like this, and look at that, the day shuts off really quickly, about 3:30. That means the task time available has got much less. There's no point sending gliders on a 500 kilometre task here unless you all want them to land out. So it makes sense to produce a task B. Task B in this case being about, I don't know, 2.5 hours long instead of 4 hours. This is the racing task for day one, and the task distance here, 430 kilometres. The day was particularly soggy, never really got going, so they reverted to task B, 348.6 kilometres. Right, now imagine that the day is getting even crappier, so we'll get rid of even more caffeine in this place, and what we find is, other than it being an unholy mess on the piece of paper, now your task time is not very long at all. They need a minimum of 2 hours to get up and do a task for the World Champs. If you don't have that, or if you're getting close to that, you revert to task C. Task C is now down to 281 kilometres, and it's getting pretty dire. And if the day is a complete wipeout, you not only have made a complete mess of your kitchen, but you've also now chosen a good time to cancel the day completely. There we go. I hope that was clear as mud. I'm now going to go and drink some coffee.